What's going on, everybody? It's Ricky from Video Homicide, and today we're going to be covering a film from the year 2021, directed by James Wan. We're talking about Malignant. So this movie just came out the other day, and I really wanted to see it. I remember seeing the trailer and thinking, wow, that looks pretty twisted, pretty cool, and I'm a fan of James Wan. You know, I love the first Saw. I love Conjuring 2 especially. I believe he had something to do with Insidious. I think he did the first 3 Insidious films. Really like those movies too. I think they're fucked up, you know. I think those are like pretty decent, like of that time horror films. And this one is just the same. Malignant, I really liked. So there will be spoilers in this video. So if you have not watched the movie, or like I said before, if you're a fucking sadist, go ahead and watch the video. But with that being said, let's get into it. So the movie, matter of fact, I went with my dad, who hasn't went to a movie theater in like 20 years. Like, the last time we went and saw a movie together was the Rugrats movie. Like, way back. Like, that had to have been in the 90s, early 2000s. But anyways, Malignant is a movie about this woman and her imaginary friend, Gabriel. Okay? Now, there's a major twist in this film that I loved. I thought was very good. Did not see it coming at all. Kind of had ideas that it might be like a split personality thing, but we'll get into that in a little bit. So this woman who's pregnant and in a very abusive relationship with her boyfriend, they get into a scuttle one day, or you know, he fucking slams her up against the wall. Like, this is a pregnant chick, and he slams her up against the wall, and she bashes her head off the wall and like creates a big fucking hole in the wall, like total drywall fuck up. And this guy's just a son of a bitch the whole time. Like, immediately when you see him, you just want him to die. But anyways, this guy ends up sleeping on the couch, and the girlfriend is sleeping in her bed, and she's bleeding from the back of her head. And the boyfriend is laying on the couch sleeping, and then he starts hearing these weird noises. And you know, from fucking, I think there might have been a few jump scares in that part, but he ends up getting killed by this like you know, long cloaked figure, and he gets like his neck split. And then the woman who's upstairs like gets scared shitless, and she gets attacked by this person as well. And now that the boyfriend's dead, and she goes into like this shock because she lost her third baby. She's had 3 miscarriages, and you know, which has got to be devastating, right? Especially she wants to have this, you know, connection to something like through blood, because she was adopted. So she's got a sister who she loves, the sister loves her, and the mother and all that stuff, but she wants to have something blood related. And throughout the film, at this point in the film, you meet these 2 detectives. One's a guy, one's a woman, and you know, they kind of have a little bit of like jokiness between them. Nothing too serious. That's another thing about this movie. Like, it's a scary film, but it has its moments where like they could have tried to push it a little far. I mean, there was a line about Sloth from Goonies, which got 0 laughs in the theater. Matter of fact, there was only me, my dad, one guy, and then another guy with his 2 kids that were like literally 4 years old. I couldn't fucking believe he brought them to this film, but you know, my dad showed me messed up stuff when I was a kid, so what am I to say? But anyways, these two detectives, they start to have like this feeling that this woman is involved, because like there's no sign of break and entry, there's no sign of this and that, and you know, like it's just a weird setup. So she's a suspect, okay? And there's this character called Gabriel, who you don't get told is named Gabriel for a little while, but he's trying to you know, get close to this woman, okay, our main actress. And he uses weird fucking methods to get close to her, but it's almost like a telepathic thing, because this woman goes into these trances and sees what Gabriel is seeing, and like gets like doesn't only go into a trance, but like, let's say we're standing in this room, the room like starts melting and then turns into the room that Gabriel's in, and she can't do anything. It's kind of like a weird astral projection type thing, but I really did like that. There's, I think, 3 instances where that happens in the film, and all 3 of these people are doctors from the beginning of the film. I almost forgot to mention, there was like this incident in the hospital. Like, it's supposed to be like 1992, I think, at this point in the film, and these doctors are going ape shit trying to subdue this Gabriel kid, and he's like a monster. Like, you can tell he looks like a fucking monster. Like, you don't get a good look at him, but you get a good enough look at them, or good enough look at him. And when the orderlies like finally get him subdued and they're dragging him away, he's wearing like little like kid socks, and like it kind of makes you feel bad in a way, even though like there's all these dead bodies around. Like, it's crazy. Lots of gore in this film. But Gabriel is what I thought was like a ghost, like a supernaturally kind of thing, because he has this weird thing where he communicates through the radio and through like static electricity. Like, if he's near, like, lights start flickering, all that kind of stuff. But I know I'm all over the place, I apologize, but these cops are trying to kind of work with this woman, and they don't believe her, you know, because she's saying like, I can see like these murders happening. And they're like, well, you're kind of fucking crazy. And she's like, well, don't you use like psychics to help find missing persons and this and that? And they're like, no, that's fucking wives' tale kind of thing. But Gabriel, while all this is happening, is finding a hideout. And I thought this was really fucking weird, but I don't know if this is an actual place. If anyone's from like the Pacific Northwest that can confirm this, like, I believe it's in Seattle, where there was like this underground city. It's like a museum kind of thing where you can take this tour where it goes underneath the city, and because there was like this fire years ago, they had to like rebuild the new city on top of the old, but like they left tons of stuff down there. Like, it's totally unbelievable in my eyes, and like the fact that there's no dope heads and stuff down there is a fucking miracle. But he goes down there and he steals this woman, and he puts her in this undisclosed location, and he goes up into this room and he takes one of the trophies from one of the people that he killed, one of the 3 people he killed. They're all doctors, and it's like a trophy for excellence in health, medicine, whatever it was. And he turns it into a weapon, and then he's got his weapon. He's got this woman that he stole tied up on the wall, and our main actress is really like starting to become more and more like crazy, delusional in a way, like kind of like Heather Langenkamp, like near the end of like you know, when she's talking to like Johnny Depp's character and he thinks she's like right out to lunch, like that kind of stuff is the vibe I got. Not a Nightmare on Elm Street vibe, but just like that kind of relationship vibe, or, you know, situation vibe, if you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, the younger sister of our main actress, who's not blood related, goes to or finds out that her sister was once held at this mental institution. So she goes to this now closed mental institution that we seen at the beginning of the film back in '92, and she finds the files. Like, in this total, like, I don't know, I feel like there's a few missed opportunities in that scene, but it's kind of cool. Like, she goes into this old fucking basement and finds all the records, gets the records from her sister, and then she finds all these like VHS tapes and takes them home. They watch them, and then that's where it's like totally out to lunch land, okay? Because Gabriel, who's this imaginary friend she was having, was not an imaginary friend at all, but it was actually a fucking total basket case, like Bilal style, like Siamese twin that she had growing on her back, okay? It was like a parasite kind of, I think they called it a parasitic something, but this Gabriel character is growing off her back, and like they're attached at the brain, and they're like at the back and all that. So the doctors at the beginning of the film, like they're trying to, that's why it makes sense that this, like, you know, monster's wearing like these cutesy socks, because the main portion of the body is a girl, but on the back there's this fucking demented like demon thing, and the little girl even referred to it as the devil, which was scary. When little kids mention the devil, it just gives you an eerie little vibe there. But it's through all these tapes that all this stuff is explained, and I kind of like that idea. I wish there was a little bit more of it, but I think we got a decent amount. And you know, it's at the time they're discovering these tapes that the main girl is now being, you know, like she gets sent to prison at one point. I don't even remember how the fuck that happened, but she gets sent to prison. She's in this holding cell, and that's when the tapes are being watched, and all these like fucking big butch fucking cocksucker cunts at this prison cell start giving our main girl a hard time. And then all of a sudden, boom, Gabriel takes over. So Gabriel is like this suppressed thing that was released when the abusive boyfriend cracked her head on the back of the wall, like cracked the back of her head on the wall. And because that, like, when they when they like flayed or spliced Gabriel off the body, they had to leave some of the thing because they were attached at the brain, so they closed it up. And the reason she was having all these miscarriages was because of the this Gabriel parasite on her back was fueling himself with these miscarriages somehow. And that's why she was kind of waking up with blood on the back of her head. She was always wondering what the hell was going on. So he was using her body as a means to commit all these murders and stuff. So she would go like total contortionist style and walking around like kind of backwards but frontwards at the same time. So like the back of her, like her face, like if I was her, my face would have like the collar of the coat like covering up, and like the back of it would be, you know, I'd be walking backwards. It was fucking weird. It was kind of like Exorcist-ish in a way, if you know what I mean. But I really did like all the mayhem that ensued right there. There's lots of good kills in this movie. That's one thing, you know, I want to like get across right away, because when I first started watching it, I was thinking in my head, oh fuck, here we go. Like this is one of these kind of movies. It kind of felt dulled down, but throughout the film, like people are getting stabbed to death, blood spurting everywhere, people are getting shot. Like I really liked the detective, the male detective. I thought he was really cool. I think I could, you know, enjoy him in some other films. I enjoyed everyone in the movie, to be honest with you, but I'm looking forward to seeing what James Wan does next. Hopefully not a sequel to this film. It's set up totally like there's going to be a sequel, but if they could just fucking end it and stop having these waves of sequels all the time. It's like every fucking movie needs a sequel? No, it doesn't. Have you ever heard of The Burning? Like, Jesus Christ. Or have you ever heard of fucking... Give me another good non-sequel horror film. The Thing. I'm fucking blanking right now. Videodrome. Like, there's so many good movies that are just standalone. Hey, how are you? Boom. That's it. One and done. That's all we need. That's what this era needs. That's why I'm happy there's people like Robert Eggers, Ari Aster. You know, there's all these guys making these one-off films that don't require fucking 10 installments, 3 spin-offs, and a fucking TV series. It's ridiculous, man. So, yeah, I did enjoy Malignant. I think Gabriel is a good horror character. I wouldn't call him a horror icon at all, but I would, you know, because he was kind of cliche-ish in his look, like long black hair with a trench coat and like a knife that was made out of an old trophy. I don't know. I thought it was cool. I liked all of like the, you know, I liked when the characters were getting the backstory through like these VHS tapes and, you know, different things like that. At one point they used like, this was the part that I like laughed at. Like I literally laughed out loud. They get like this psychic person to come in to try to help the main girl find her repressed memories and all that, and then like she started going to like this fucking seizure moment, and the therapist or the psychic chick just like goes, "When I put my hand on your head, you will be back." And like I was like, dude, what the fuck is that? That's like when you watch those church shows and like they go and like smack some guy in the face and all of a sudden he can walk and talk and all that. Like I don't know, I wasn't into that, but that's only one little tiny sample. For the most part, I did enjoy Malignant, and I hope you guys get a chance to check it out. Leave a 666 in the comments if you watch this video all the way through. Be sure to stay tuned for another video coming up very soon. 2 new videos coming this week, coming today. In the next couple of days, they'll be released. But anyways, I'm excited. Adios.